Hello, today we're going to be doing a simple methods and function exercise called OLD MACDONALD. And essentially what the exercise is we're going to write a function that capitalizes the first and fourth letters of a name. And in this case, we're going to be using the name McDonald. As you know, the popular food franchise McDonald's is spelt like this. However, I'm going to be using the word McDonald. We're going to actually spell the Mac, and what we want is the Donald to be capitalized as well as the Mac. We don't want capital C like this. We want to make sure we get the exact word spelled correctly with the correct capitalization. So we don't actually have to use any strings, don't have to use any for loops, if statements, anything like that. It's a very simple string indexing solution. So first, let's define a function. Let's call it OLD MACDONALD, as the exercise suggests. And let's put our name for the argument, because that's what we're going to be using. We're just going to call it name. Keep it very simple. And don't forget the colon there. So once you write the colon, that will give us the correct indent. Now we're going to ask for it to return us something. We don't need to say for, or if. Okay, we're just going to simply return it. It's going to be a simple exercise, and we want the name, because essentially what we're going to be doing is later on calling Old MacDonald and return a string for this name, and we want the code to return us that name. However, we want it to capitalize the first and the fourth letter. So instead of putting count or anything like that, we're going to do return name, and think about the word McDonald here. Okay, we want the first letter to be capitalized, so let's get that done now. Instead of saying name 1, that would return us A as capitalized, because with lists, the first letter always starts as 0. So we're going to call name 0, right? And we want that capitalized, right? So we're going to use the capitalized function. As you can see in the note here, it's telling us the correct capitalized function. Now we could use upper, but we're just going to take the notes advice. So we're going to capitalize this, use a Z, because we're using the American function clearly. So name, the first letter, call that 0, so that'll be M. We'll capitalize that, and there'll be an argument. We can leave that empty. So that will return us whatever string we input. However, we want the fourth letter to be also capitalized. So instead of saying capitalize the fourth letter now, we need to run the other letters in between that. So I'm going to use some indexing here. I'm going to say 1:3. Now, this is essentially saying return the name normally. So return the first letter, but capitalize it, and also return me the name from index 1 to 3. So index 1 to 3 is going to be, we just spell out McDonald. We'll just do it in all lowercase, okay? McDonald, the first one is M. So M will be capitalized. Then we have 1, position 1, which is A, then 2 and 3. However, with indexing, the number you input on the right side of the colon doesn't count. So it only starts from the first and then goes 1 before the last one. So it's going to return 1, which is A, and then 2. Because if you put 1 and 2, that's not going to work. We need to put 1 and 3. 1 and 2, we'll just input 1, and then 2 minus 1, which is 1. So it's just going to give us A as normal, but we need to put 3 so it makes sure that C is involved as well. Okay, so it's going to capitalize, it's going to load, like return A and C as normal. Okay, so let's carry on. And now we want to capitalize D. So we're going to input that now, name. This will be 3 as well. So in this, it was 1 to 3 because the 3 wasn't involved. And 3, in this case, that index number, relates to the letter D in McDonald. So that's not going to return D because with indexing, the 3 is 1 above what you want. So it's not going to give us D. So we need to make sure the code understands that we want the third position of the word, which correlates to D, the letter D. Capitalize that now for our arguments in. So what we have now is the first letter capitalized, then we have the letters after that, 1 and 2 capital normal, and then we have the fourth letter capitalized because it's the fourth one because indexing starts at 0. So 3 is actually the fourth letter. And now we want the rest of the word. So even if we didn't write McDonald, even if we wrote the longest word, whatever, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, right? It would return whatever string you input to the very end of that word. How are we going to do that? We need to input our name and 4, because now we're starting from 4. We don't do minus 1, we do 4, okay? The fourth index, which is the fifth letter, yeah? Colon, and leave it at that, because what that does now is returns the name from the fourth index to the very end of the string, and that'll return that normally. So now if we run that, oh, we got an unexpected indent because this is not supposed to be there. Just showing you an example. So run that, and now let's give back what the code wants. So we'll run that now. Now we define the function as old MacDonald. So we're going to give back old MacDonald, and now it wants a string. So obviously the whole exercise is to capitalize the word MacDonald. So we're going to input MacDonald as a string, make sure the apostrophes are connected. And now once we run that, it will return us MacDonald capitalized. And you can use this for any word now. If you want to say, let's say old MacDonald, over time, old MacDonald. Now the fourth position here is actually the space, so it doesn't capitalize that. But if we got rid of that space, it would return old MacDonald with a capital M. So it's just the positioning, and it understands the index is number 4 that it needs to capitalize also. So whatever you put as the fourth and first index will be capitalized, and everything else will be returned normally. So let's say you put everything but the first letter, so A, capital B, capital C, lowercase d, and now the rest of the alphabet, and return that, it should return the normal alphabet as normal in fully uppercase. So that's the exercise. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll be doing a lot more of these. So yeah, that's how you do the old MacDonald classic function exercise. Thank you for watching.